Hello and welcome, I'm Liam, News Reviewer. If David can eat cereal in his video, then so can I. And today we're going to be talking about the latest album from synth-pop trio CHVRCHES, Love Is Dead. Not sure if I should be even talking about this album since Lauren Mayberry in a recent controversy was kind of pissed off at Stereo Gum for their review. But Camp Cope didn't want men reviewing their album and I liked it and talked about it, so fuck it, why not? My views on CHVRCHES until now, their debut album is just so good. The Bones of What You Believe is just one of the best debut records of the 2010s as far as I'm concerned. It's near perfect pop music. There's not a single weak track on there. I love going back to it and falling just back into this like it's like a daydream kind of thing where like everything just keeps getting better and better, even if you think that it's going to hiccup at one point. It never ever does. They followed that album up with Every Open Eye, which wasn't as good. We'll put it at that. But I don't think it's a bad album. I think some people try and say that they fluked their debut album, Andy Barr. But really, Every Open Eye is a good album. It saw them go down a darker direction and provide some of their best tracks just in their discography so far. I know they've only got 2 albums under the belt, including this one, but yeah, Leave a Trace was one of my favourite songs of 2015 when it dropped, and yeah, there's some other good ones like Clearest Blue, and I just have a good time with that record. Not as great a time as their debut, but there's more to like about that album than to dislike. When it came to this album though, I was scared, I was anxious, and I think we'll explore this via the tried and tested formula of going track by track through this album, because there were 3 or 4 singles dropped before this album came out, so I had some sort of expectations for it, and a lot of ones that I had none for, and that I was maybe pleasantly surprised by. Maybe I hated them, who knows. We'll sum up average at the end of it. I'll add or subtract bonus points depending on how it works as just an overall project, and yeah, let's just get into it. It'll probably be terrible, but let's just get into it. First track, Graffiti. The intro track is pretty crucial for any sort of album, and Love Is Dead doesn't open up on a dud, but it doesn't exactly open up on something good. It is just the epitome of just kind of like a kind of song. Lauren Mayberry sounds pretty convincing when she's talking about like a really strong love fading away. That's the one thing through all this album. I think Lauren Mayberry's vocals they're good. Sometimes they're the best they've ever been, but for the most part they're good. They're not a huge departure from what she usually does. But yeah, there's like the structure of most CHVRCHES songs where, like, especially with the bridges, where like people could maybe make the argument if you've heard one, you probably know how most of their songs are going to go. I was a bit concerned before this album. With this song, it's even more concerning. But yeah, it's just it's a fine intro track, I guess. Just it didn't put damper on my expectations, but didn't get me raring to go for the rest of this album. A 5 out of 10. So the first single for this album also happened to be one of my earliest track reviews for this channel. Has my opinion on it changed? Not all that much. I think when it first came out, I liked it quite a bit. I think it was like the sugar rush on a CHVRCHES song after like 3 years without one. In hindsight, I still think I like it. I still think this is gonna be like the arena song that they'll want any album to have, where they can put it on and just everyone's going to be singing along, and I do think the hook is pretty solid. It's really the production from Martin Docherty and Ian Cook here that makes it maybe as enthralling as I'd want it to be, and Lauren Mayberry just manages to keep her like head above water. But I feel that even though when she's singing about wanting to like break away, become free, and that just kind of battling with the production, I don't think she often comes out the winner in it. But I like it. It's not anything exceptional or all that, like, it's just kind of, it's good. A 6 out of 10. They were on to Deliverance, and we went from just fine to a good song, and yeah, this does sound like a cut from Emotion, but god damn it, I don't care. Mayberry's always been pretty good on the mic, but here I think it's like the most compelling that she's ever been. She's talking about this like emotional regret, second thoughts, just doubts in general, and like you really do feel like you feel this serious weight she has on her shoulder. Sure, the chorus may not like pack the punch that the build up to it would imply that it has, and in turn it can make the kind of chorus here feel just a bit lacking. But I think at this point in my first listen, I was feeling comfortable, and when I came back to it in my third, fourth listen, I was still enjoying it. The appeal hadn't worn off for me. I feel kind of like a 7 out of 10 on this. Now, on paper, My Enemy should just be a classic. You're getting Matt Berninger of The National on here. His really kind of moody vocals meshed with Lauren's like really chirpy delivery. Like, that sounds just like a match made in heaven if you're looking for like that, just like pleasant like juxtaposition. I love using that word. But I don't know, I felt like this song was just okay. Not to slag off Matt's vocals, because they always are good, and they always, I say good, like they're often great, but I don't think that this kind of synth pop song, even though it's trying to obviously be a bit more dreary so that it kind of matches his much more kind of emo-y vocals. I know they do rock, but like they often become like emo in my eyes. I don't know, I don't think that he really puts up much of a fight, and I think often the production can get the better of him, and then it's just kind of left with Lauren Mayberry being like the sole just force that's keeping this kind of song afloat. So yeah, it feels like it's cool that he's on this album and on this song, but I don't think that his presence is all that great. I honestly don't. I feel just a 5 out of 10. The feeling of regret that we saw on Deliverance, it flows into Forever, where Mayberry seems to kind of like come to like a conclusion of just fessing up, like she was wrong and she admits it. But honestly, this is one of these songs that you'll forget that you listened to, and you'll look for like the track list and you'll be like, oh, that song, it came like just after that song, or like 5 songs before that one. Like it is pretty forgettable, if I'm being perfectly honest. It just feels like a skeletal version of like what came 2 songs before, and yeah, there's just not really anything all that interesting with what's going on with the instrumentals or just with what Lauren has to say here in general. 4 out of 10. Then we get to Never Say Die, and oh, this is what I've been waiting for. A truly great like CHVRCHES song on this album. Oh, it took 6 songs, but they're in there kind of like, they've hit that stride there. Will they keep it up? God fucking knows. But Never Say Die, it feels like Paramore's like emo rock sound was like put like a synthesizer converter, like instead of like these angsty guitars, you get like this synth riff and backing vocals. It just, they won't quit. Well, Mayberry like said in an interview that this album, none of the songs come about from like breakups or relationships. This one does seem to like explore a toxic one, so more just her probably like exploring like a fictional one, where yeah, it just sounds like a really shit state of affairs. It's pretty evoking in the sense of the sadness it gets from you, and the same comes with the instrumentals. I love this song. It really did save it for me here, because beforehand I think it was kind of meandering. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for Never Say Die. Just very good song. Now we're on to Miracle. This track right here, this is why I had more anxiety than anything about this album. Honest God, that feels like one of the CHVRCHES members was like raking for the bins behind whatever studio Fall Out Boy were recording that, and they just found like a chucked away just a chucked away idea, concept, whatever, and just went, you know what, let's do this, but worse. Oh, it's so riddled with cliche stuff that is like I say, with their debut, they were like, they definitely stood out. They're a lot more refreshing. Here, they're giving in to like the whole like, as they put it, it's like the kind of like them really boring mesh of gang vocals and just bland, boring, mundane instrumentals. Ugh. I do not like this song at all. It's one of the worst songs of the year, no doubt. 3 out of 10. On to Graves now, and after Miracle, anything would be an improvement. But Graves, it seems to be like there's a concept forming here, and I would say it's a good song. I don't think there's an overriding like driving force of politics going on through Love Is Dead, and I don't feel like it should be viewed as being a political album, but there's definitely moments where Lauren Mayberry tries to be a lot more outspoken. Her imagery here isn't like super detailed or anything all that like fleshed out, but it's simple enough and it's efficient enough when she's talking about like bodies filling up the corridors, like going on to the beach and that. Like you don't really need to like go into too much detail there. I think that kind of simple imagery alone kind of gets the message home. The chorus here is definitely one of the strongest, and while the hook may feel like a tiny bit derivative, I think that it's backed up by like a subdued and catchy as fuck guitar. The guitars seem to like pop up like as a saving grace in some of these songs, but I think here it's more of a case of it going from like an okay song to being like a truly good one. And yeah, 7 out of 10. They're on to Heaven and Hell, and this song seems to fall into the pitfall that many deemed that the new Arctic Monkeys album did, where like the lyrics are great but it's not really backed up by anything all that interesting or engaging. Lauren talks about just kind of like sexism in the entertainment industry, how she's made to feel like a broken record where she's just selling stuff, where she's just something to look at, an object, she's not like an actual person. And yeah, I feel like she does in certain tracks on here, she does do a good job of being kind of compelling with it. You could maybe make the argument that the sparseness or the lack of really any visceralness is to give these words a lot more weight, but I think I would have liked to see a bit more bite to this song instrumentally. I really do think that even if they were going to incorporate some more kind of like industrial kind of like pop angle to it, I do feel like it's a wee bit away from being like a truly great one. 6 out of 10. She said, "Do you love me?" I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. Nah, ain't that God's plan? But much like a Drake single on the chart, you can always expect Martin to come through with a solo track on a CHVRCHES album, and does not disappoint. He always has like some of the best tracks on these albums. The buzzing stems on the chorus, how Lauren and him just like mix and work off one another, and just the bitterness that this song is trying to evoke means just getting a good moment on this album that at this point is wavering big time in terms of its like consistency and quality. 7 out of 10. Really gone now, and I actually quite like how this song is structured. It feels kind of like there's like a mini like synthesized orchestra in the background that gives it a bit more weight, a bit more meat on the bones, as some of these songs feel like they're just kind of missing something. It feels like this one has been fleshed out. Mayberry's pipes are just really bloody nice on here, in a way where it seems like she's trying to push and twist them about in a way that isn't like totally pushing herself out of her comfort zone, but in a way that she's able to kind of like experiment and kind of tinker with an already established delivery. Seems to be kind of like a natural conclusion to what Deliverance was trying to do lyrically, at least, where Lauren just, she just admits that yep, she's wrong, she's did that on Forever, and now she's just kind of like, you know what, there's nothing else I can do, I'm just gonna have to like just try and forget to distract myself, and that it is really bloody sad. And I do think that the production it's backed up with does a good job of like really harkening on just how just shitty a situation it all is, which means I just have a lot of time for this song. 7 out of 10. This is just an interlude, so forget about it. Final track, Wonderland here, and the guitars in this closing track are nice, but bar that, it's kinda bloody underwhelming. I'm sick of chatting about Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland and all these other like child book things and saying how you like relate to them and all that shit. I don't think it's quite as bad as Peter Pan on Earth and Now, but it's still not good. It's just it just feels so like lyrically cliche, mundane as fuck, and I don't think the instrumentals do a good job of actually putting it up a notch at all. Just pretty much ends Love Is Dead on a fizzle as opposed to a bang like it probably should. 4 out of 10. Now giving my results to my brainy friend here for him to do all of the maths, and yeah, it looks like it all adds up to a decent 5. And yeah, I did expect this to be much worse than it actually was. I'm being totally honest with Miracle. I thought there was going to be a lot more songs that were of that same like bad quality, and I did not expect some songs to be as good as they were. I didn't listen to Never Say Die before the album came out, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it was a big surprise for me. I did enjoy that quite a fair bit. I don't feel any reason to add or subtract bonus points here, because I don't think there's an overall concept or any sort of like real cohesiveness or lack of cohesiveness where it's taken away from my enjoyment of this album. Really, it is just kind of, it is what it is. It's an album with some good songs, a lot of okay to bland songs, and one truly bad song here. So yeah, feeling a light to decent 5 on this new CHVRCHES album. Let me know what you guys think if you've listened to it yet. Favourite worst songs, and yeah, let me know if you like this whole format. Might try and do it more often, especially for these kind of like reviews that pop up like either a day on or the day after the release. Got a new episode of the podcast up as well, where we interview Chris McQueer, very funny guy. Was very happy to have him on. Just very natural episode talking about books, Scottish comedy, battering dictators, you know, your usual stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Stay safe and stay hydrated.